This best bets and best ball edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You can win up to 100 times your entry with Underdog's Fantasy Pick'em. Sign up with SGPN to claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by the Mega Memorial Merch Sale. 15% off everything in the SGPN merch store with the promo code SGPN May.
This is Nate Collins. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. Oh, happy Memorial Day, Sean. You're looking very American right now.
Thank you. Rocking my sweet American gear. Yeah, happy Memorial Day to shout out to all those have served. Yeah, hopefully everyone.
How did you celebrate?
I didn't really do that much celebrating. I was in Cincinnati, soaking up some.
That's American of you.
Soaking up some local culture there in Cincinnati. Was my brother-in-law's high school graduation. Went to that.
Nice.
Hung out with my wife's grandparents. 93 years old, still alive and kicking.
What do they like for the Bengals this year? I assume there was a win-loss conversation.
He was asking about the Bengals, and I said, "Hey, if Joe Burrow stays healthy, they'll be pretty good." He's like,
Contender or
they're
pretender?
the Bengals. He was there. He was not optimistic. Hasn't seen a Bengals Super Bowl, and you're 93. I can see why you might be pessimistic. We did go out to a Mexican food place, which normally. You
in
go
Cincinnati.
Yeah, you go non-Mexican food place outside of LA. That's dangerous, Ryan.
Yeah, it's well. I mean, you can be near the border still and not in Los Angeles.
We were on the border of Ohio and Indiana. Went into Indiana.
Whoa.
To
south of the border to get some Mexican, huh?
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. But they came up to me and they asked. I ordered a margarita. And the guy goes, "Do you want a small margarita or a large margarita?" I'm like, "Oh, it's my wife's family. I'm not going to be like, I'll take a tiny margarita." So
half soup salad, please.
I go, "Give me the large margarita." I tweeted the photo out. Maybe Josh can pull it up, but it is. I mean, it's just like
no. I think I captured.
It's like a fish bowl. They brought out to you, and did my best to put it down. But so yeah,
margaritas are hilarious. They're the one of the few drinks where any size container is completely appropriate.
There you go. YouTube.com/sports gambling podcast. I tried to chug it, but like I got through half, and the sugar just like gave me an insane headache.
I was gonna say what threw me off was the coloring, and maybe it was just the contrast of the red, but it looked like neon green, almost like we're talking like lemon lime Gatorade color.
Yeah, it was. And the flavoring was not traditional margarita. The food was very good, but I don't know if I would do the comically large margarita.
Yeah,
and you can even see people responding to my tweets. Number of Cincinnati listeners responded. Am I going to the Hard Rock Casino? There is the NFL slot machine. Would I be there?
How's the slot?
Unfortunately, did not make it out to the BetMGM or the slot machine. Yeah, Hard Rock Casino has the NFL slots. Oh, don't worry. I kept showing my wife Aristocrat Gaming's webpage.
Wait, so you didn't go?
No, I did not. Did not make it.
Didn't have time. Huh?
No, couldn't squeeze it in. Had to fly back and do this show, Ryan.
That just seems like the kind of thing if you're sightseeing and you're in Cincinnati and there's an NFL slot machine in the area.
The slot,
Sean. All right,
no free time.
All right, quick side thing. Yes. This is like an Etsy project, but we need one of those maps where we can stick a pin in it.
Okay.
Every NFL slot machine we play.
Maybe the listeners can. Yes.
You want to put a pin on the board?
Yeah.
Spin the wheel.
Well, and perfect transition because
Nice.
Ryan,
Yes.
later this week we will be announcing another graduate of Degen University.
Walking?
So again,
is that what they say? Walking
yes.
a graduate?
Degen.university, still time to get in your application. And if you already submitted your application, feel free to update it. Degen.university is the form.
What a sick URL.
You'll get a sweet cap, aka a t-shirt, and or no, sorry, the cap is actually a cap. Your gown is a t-shirt. So enjoy that. And yeah, we got that coming up.
And I will say it again, Degen University gear. #1 in the power rankings for the kids attending high school and middle school in my house.
Well, I think we could have someone that's going to take them off just in time for Memorial Day. We just got a new Degen SGPN USA shirts that are pretty awesome. I don't know if Josh has the photo of that. Yes, youtube.com/sports gambling podcast. That thing is, I mean, that's going to get you late at a pool party.
Sean, when does ours arrive?
I already told Jake to send some over, and I'm sure he's going to be on it. Ryan, he is the merch god.
Wet tea. All right, so here's the assignment. Patty C.
You wet t-shirt contest?
Well, I think I'm actually thinking 2 things. 1, we have a TCE wet t-shirt contest. 2, we just have Patty C wearing a white t-shirt and someone dumps a bucket of water on him while a high power fan blows in his face. He would look very attractive. I have a feeling that white could be slimming.
He's got his long hair.
He was a Division I athlete.
He was.
Like some of us at the company played collegiate athletics. Patty C was one of them.
Oh man, Ryan, there's a lot to get to. We also have to talk about our buddy Bill Walton. Unfortunately, passed away, age of 71. Shout out to you.
Man.
Literally, the Pac-12 had their last event, and then Bill Walton passes away. Just an all-time, just awesome dude. Great Bruin, won a couple championships with the Blazers. So yeah, bummer, and huge Grateful Dead fan. So connected with Bill Walton in a number of ways. He was very fun, very entertaining, and a great basketball player.
Yeah, I mean, certainly if you've never heard his I guess you would call him calling the bike ride down from the Angeles National Forest into Los Angeles. It was just like a random late night Arizona Oregon game or something, and he's talking it up, and
yeah, he was really into cycling too.
Yeah, I would say he's just one of those dudes that he was into what he was into, and one of those things that he was into enhanced all the other things. So he's Bill struck me as the kind of guy that was like, yeah, but have you ever done it on weed?
Oh, there's no evidence that Bill Walton ever smoked weed, right? I don't know where you're getting that at.
Did he ever get COVID?
No, I have no idea.
That's 2 of us.
Very tall guy.
It's 2 of us. we might have immunity.
Also, if you missed the UFL episode, well, first off, we'll definitely have some touting from that episode, but we also played that Wheel of Fortune clip, which was amazing, of the guy incorrectly guessing the Wheel of Fortune answer, and we now have that in drop form.
Right in the butt. Right in the butt.
Oh man, I showed this to every one of my in-laws. my wife's aunt, and she.
Do they find it to be funny? Conservative folk in the Midwest.
She laughed. Well, she's not uptight, but like she laughed, but she's like, he did. There's 2 T's in butt. What was he thinking? I'm like, no, that's not what. I mean, yeah, you're right. He didn't understand. He was also got the puzzle wrong, but just a guy buzzing in.
Right in the butt.
Guy, it strikes me as the kind of guy who has not been turned away by something slightly wrong with a butt before.
Right in the butt.
He was chopping at the bit.
I'm good with a 1 T butt.
Right in the butt. All right.
That butt has low T.
All right. We are talking best bets,
Yes.
little hoops, and Ryan, we also got another best ball draft. Before we do that, of course, shout out to our featured show, one of the featured shows on SGPN, the college baseball tournament starts Friday. Noah Beanick has you covered with the college baseball experience, daily picks episodes, regional previews, and much more. Also, like I mentioned, Mega Memorial Day sale. Keep going till the end of the month. Promo code SGP and May get you 15% off of everything. Joining us on the line, you know him, you love him, from the NBA Gambling Podcast, Mr. Terrell Furman. Terrell, what's happening?
Oh, it's a good day. It's a good day. Another Celtics non-cover. So it's always a good day. Somehow, some way, we have the Pacers go out here and find another way to. I mean, we literally could have been up 3-1 in the series, Pacers, and nobody would be surprised. But it's all right. That's the false confidence that the city of Boston is going to have about this team right now. And then we cashed Jaylen Brown MVP plus 550. So you know what? It was a good night.
I walk in, I see Carlisle up at the mic for the press conference, just talking about the summer. It's like, all right. And then immediately you just hear Terrell's optimism around all their covers. It's like
they were 3-1 ATS.
I was like,
3-1 ATS. I
Hey, man.
for the Pacers. They
you
had
didn't fall for him. You
Is
just
it
had a
falling?
nice
Did you fall for it? You were 3-1 ATS. You didn't fall for anything.
That's
You
true.
won. You actually won with them. So let's be.
I've not shredded my Pacers future yet.
Is it dead?
Someone
will
say
you
it's
cash
dead.
out now? Any hedge?
Is the cash out offered? That's the great thing about Circuit. No cash outs offered.
Come on.
No. Unfortunate end for the Pacers because they were hammering their team total. That was an easy bet. Them covering a ton of spreads. That was good.
Did they fire their coach because they didn't win a championship?
They have not fired Rick Carlisle yet. I don't know. He's had some moments where he was really shitty. Scott was really selling me on the idea of Rick Carlisle sucking. And I think he might be onto something, but also I don't know if you get rid of Rick Carlisle right now. You had some momentum.
Yeah, the team's good.
It feels crazy to completely get rid of Rick Carlisle.
NBA's blow it up. Didn't get there.
They got bit by the injury bug. It was the injury bug, like a lot of other teams that had to play Boston. Ben Mathurin, their 6-man of the year potential candidate, he was out for majority of the back end of the season. Didn't even make the playoffs, and then Tyrese Halliburton going down. But it's just that team up in Boston just loves to make things interesting for us. And Andrew Nembhard had a legacy 2 games, making his games even close because a lot of people thought that they weren't even going to be in it.
We're going to have Dallas versus Boston, Sean. What do we do?
No, I know what I'm going to be doing. I really just can't. This Boston team, I know I'm preaching to the choir talking to Terrell, but this Boston team just does not look like a championship caliber team right now. They just don't.
Not at all. And I'd be trying. If you told anybody to go look at the Pacers roster and say that the Boston Celtics have to play to the last 2 minutes to take the lead and think about even winning the game, like they were up at halftime and blew it. Like this is comical at this point of how people can actually look at this team and say that this is clear cut. They're the best team in the league and they're going to get this done when they underperform. Now, shout out to Joe Mazzulla for finally, after 8 straight series, finally he gets a series where he doesn't drop a game at home. It was very close, very, very close, but he proved. Is that the monkey off of his back? Is that it? I don't know. I think that it just means he's due to drop another game at home.
He likes getting choked out, dude. Hopefully the monkey's still up there choking the shit out of him.
Well, yeah, let's kick it over to the other side. I mean, NBA, do you guys know, are you not hiring crooked refs anymore? How do we have a 4-0 sweep and then we're looking at the barrel of another potential 4-0 sweep? I mean, what happened to these guys that are great at extending series? Where is Scott Foster when you need him?
When did the finals start?
Regardless. This is the regulations. This is what happens when you regulate sports betting, man. They don't want to take the chances anymore. And don't. Right, Tim was down for it. Tim would have made sure we got a 7-game series.
So according to producer Josh, no matter what, finals start on June 6th. So we're just gonna take a week off.
Yep.
Sean, they're gonna take a week. Imagine if the NFL does take a week off. Imagine if the NFL took a week off right before their championship game.
I could imagine it.
I could imagine.
They need the NBA media week, Ryan.
It seems like a negative. Again, a little bit of a TMZ fan, but it does seem like this playoffs is not gravitating like it often does. And I can't imagine just not playing for a week. It's good for that.
Well, there was obviously Ant was like a fun story or has
Get
been,
him
like,
out of here.
him kind of emerging as this superstar, taking his game to the next level. They took down the Nuggets in 7. That was an amazing series, and now they're kind of doing what the Pacers are doing, where they've hung around in these games and then just cannot close it out at all.
Dallas has 2 killers, and they don't right now.
That really is the difference. Kyrie and Luka.
And
the role players are
media, it's the media. It's media members. I wouldn't say media members like us because we don't have votes, but there are media members out there that have votes that are enabling one player in particular, one Rudy Gobert, into believing that he's actually a really, really good defender. And they enabled him 4 years. He has 4 defensive player of the years. There were 72 people that placed a first place vote for Rudy Gobert to get defensive player of the year this year. I'm just curious on how many of those people are regretting their decision watching these playoffs right now, because the defensive player of the year is getting headhunted by the other team. They actually get switches on Rudy Gobert and they say, yes, Jayden Hardy actually got a switch on Rudy Gobert. He looked to pass back to Luka and Luka said, nah, you take it. No, I don't want it. You take it. And he was like, okay. And then he went and scored and got fouled. So, I mean, Rudy Gobert gave up the final 3. He has to not play on the floor, and unfortunately, they're not going to not play him, and that's going to be their detriment.
And then you look at Karl Anthony Towns, like just I mean, he just sits at the 3-point line. It's like, dude, you're a big man. What are you doing? Like, he was just so incredibly.
He couldn't hit the ocean from a boat.
And and it's like, that's what's the problem with these big men who rely on their threes, and it's frustrating sometimes when Embiid does this, especially in the playoffs. It's like, dude, this is the playoffs. We can't have you hanging around from the 3. I mean, he was 0 for 8 from behind the arc, dude. You're like, get in there and get some points in the paint. I don't understand Minnesota's offensive game plan. I mean, Ants had some. I mean, I guess he played well game 3, but game 1 and game 2 didn't shoot the ball very well. But now we're coming to game 4. The NBA needs some freaking games. What's going to happen here, Terrell?
I mean, I think this is just tough for Cat, because Cat in the last series, what really went well for him is because he was able to get to the post with the smaller Jamal Murray on him a lot of the time and just shoot over him inside the post. Now he goes inside the post and it's Daniel Gafford, or it might be PJ Washington. And shout out to the Mavericks for making those trades at the deadline and getting bigger and getting those guys that can help disrupt people like Cat. And so it's a lot tougher with Cat. You have Draymond Green going out on TNT and giving Daniel Gafford advice. So yeah, they don't have a shot. I think at this point it's Dallas. You have Kyrie Irving in a closeout game, and Kyrie Irving has not lost a closeout game ever. When he's had a chance to send a team home, he has sent them home. I'm going to trust Kyrie Irving. I'm going to trust Luka Doncic, and the fact that they're just going to keep this game close until the final minute, and then those two are going to take the game over.
Fun fact, May 1635, France declared war on Spain. Perhaps Luka is just retaliating on that filthy Frenchman, Rudy Gobert. Yeah, this sucks. I mean, I don't really care that there's a week off, but Dallas or Boston is going to win a championship very soon.
Yeah, it's going to be weird to be rooting.
One of these cities will be celebrating.
Boston is not winning a championship.
Okay, I like this. That means Dallas.
Shots fired.
Hopefully, you don't mean the Cowboys.
All right, so I mean, it's hard not to like the Mavericks once again. Like, clearly something is going on Minnesota's head. Dallas obviously has a very good home court. Their role players are shooting well. Kyrie and Luka have this like bond that's really working for them.
Not scared of
chemistry is great for them. You mentioned a Kyrie in closeout games. I think he's 14-0 straight up. Do we just play Mavs money line? What's the move, Terrell?
Yeah, I'm with the Mavs. I say it's a sweep and it's over. I think that Minnesota's going to do everything they can to be competitive, but at the end of this day, when it comes to the fourth quarter, you have Cat, Rudy Gobert on one side. They continuously play Rudy Gobert in poor situations where they probably need to keep him off the floor, and they're not willing to do it. And because of that, it's going to be easy for Kyrie and Luka to get switches that they want and get the shot that they want. I think that they're unstoppable when it comes down to the last 2 minutes. I'm taking the Mavericks.
Oh yeah. Also, Luka just absolutely, as Colby would say, wanting to eat Rudy Gobert's ass for lunch. I mean,
what?
I mean,
Pause.
just this. What do you mean?
No,
That's what he says when he dominates someone. He eats their ass for lunch.
Yeah.
No, he's not eating their ass, Terrell. Jesus Christ. Get your head out of the
No,
gutter.
you. That's what you said. You literally said that. I mean, you
No,
literally said
like
the
Terrell,
words.
like Terrell, you come out to LA, we get on the court, and I say, "Yo,
Don't add me to this. Don't add me to this. Please don't.
I'm
I don't
gonna
even
eat
want
your
you to
ass
go
for
on any
lunch."
further.
That just
No.
means I'm
No,
gonna dominate.
no.
Colby completely messed up the phrase, so Kramer's calling it back.
But yeah, and crazy. Luka was the 3rd pick in the draft that year. Just remember DeAndre Ayton?
Yeah.
Marvin Bagley,
Dominating. I love how he gave himself the nickname Dominating. All right.
And the Hawks traded Luka. The Hawks traded Luka for Trae Young.
So Mavs,
So
yeah,
dumb.
all-time great trade by the Mavs there. So we're taking the Mavs, laying 2, -130 on the money line. Any thoughts on any props you like? I will. Great transition to Rhythm. If you haven't downloaded the Rhythm app yet, you get a 7-day free trial. Highly recommended, especially now that there aren't a ton of NBA games left. But they also got you covered for WNBA, which I know Terrell is all over. You can get Josh Green. They're one of their favorite plays for tonight, aka tomorrow, depending on when you're streaming it here. Josh Green over 4.5 points at -130. They got him predicted as high as 5.8. All in on Josh Green over points, higher, whatever. 4.5 feels like a very good number for Josh Green. So lock it up for me and make sure you check out Rhythm and download Rhythm wherever you get your apps. Get that 7-day free trial. Terrell, any props you like?
Oh well, I mean, just the pettiness has to take Daniel Gafford over on points because he got the Draymond coaching effect in the after show of last game. And as much as Draymond hates Rudy Gobert, the fact that he's coaching up opposing centers and saying, "Hey, this is what you do. You have this opportunity." Like, oh yeah, so that's just the pettiness in me. But in all actuality, I'm taking Kyrie. This is Kyrie's series. Like last series wasn't his series. This is his series where he can play fast, he can play slow, he can play out the half court and get a switch, get the matchup he wants, or he can run the floor and go up and down the floor and be able to score in transition. So I've been playing Kyrie this entire season, this entire series. He's been playing really well, backing me up. So I'm taking Kyrie Irving again over on his points.
Oh, I like that.
23.5. I'm seeing
because the idea that Kyrie gets to stick the dagger into Boston. Yeah. That I mean, imagine a Boston sports fan getting taken down in this state.
Kyrie,
they're currently in a state where they realize Tom Brady's still not coming back, and then Kyrie shows up back to town and just right in the heart.
Well, and I'm sure we can look up the price here, but Kyrie NBA Finals MVP.
I'll pull that up.
That could be pretty fun.
Oh.
Now I know he's gonna have to beat out Luka, and obviously they're gonna have to win the title to pull it off. But
that's easy.
So Luka's plus 230, Kyrie's 20-1.
20-1?
Yeah, like what am I
20 to 1?
Right, I'm betting this right now.
All right,
pause the show.
Lock that up for my best bet. Kyrie Irving, 20-1 NBA Finals MVP.
Should we send a carrier pigeon?
Yeah, let's
some of the research and development. Get the research and development team on it.
I mean, honestly, like if you want a moneymaker, let's just constantly put money on Kyrie 40, Luka 40 every night. It's going to be something similar to the LeBron Kyrie run against the Warriors, where they were just scoring 40 a night in the playoffs. It's going to be really simple, very much similar to that. Drew Holiday has nothing for him. Derek White has nothing for him. Those two are
and I think we're going to see it. Like the Mavs defense, once they get to the Celtics, assuming they close them out game 4. The Mavs defense is quietly, everyone's talking about the chemistry with Luka and Kyrie, certainly makes sense, but the Mavs defense has been going underrated in this playoffs. Yeah, I mean, you get Luka's playing defense. Everyone always wanted to see Luka play some defense. He is, and it's certainly paying dividends. So we all like the Mavs, like I said as well. The Rhythm prop bet, give me Josh Green over 4.5 points. All right, Terrell, before we let you go, WNBA is back. Give us a Caitlin Clark update, and then any bets for the WNBA.
Well, if you did take out a future on Caitlin Clark MVP, you are probably just pissing it away. And
Rookie of the year, she's still winning that.
I mean, yeah, and ultimately you feel good about rookie. Well, if you paid the price for it, you shouldn't feel good about it. It's not feeling as much of a runaway as you thought it was going to be because it is actually a close of a race. You have Rakia Jackson, you have Cameron Brink, you have Angel Reese, like a whole bunch of other players that are challenging, and they're saying, "Hey, there's a discussion for Rookie of the Year." So I think it's going to be a discussion late, but it's too many people in the media that like her too much. They're going to give her the award, but 1-4, 1-6. I'm sorry. 1-6 is that team right now. They're laying 6 here at home. And I'm telling you, there's no way you're taking a 1-6 team and laying 6 with them. Come on, how does that sound? For you guys, it's just better. Does that sound smart?
Let's do
Unless
this.
they're the Renegades in the UFL.
Let's fade the fever because I have a hot take. I was watching CJ Man in the Box was in the.
They look pretty rough
in the studio.
The
in the
20
office,
seconds I've caught of them,
and we were watching some WNBA, and I'll say this: Caitlin Clark, not very good.
Wow. All right.
She's not.
Adi, this is our next clip.
Let me expand.
Look into the camera when you deliver this.
Well, she's not. She is not. All right. So if you watch athletes a lot, which I do, we watch a lot of tape. She's not athletic. She's on her heels a lot. She's slow. She's really bad at defense. And yes, she can shoot well, and she's electric, and she's got all this. I guess people I don't quite understand why she's got this dynamic audience. Like, have you figured that out? Like, what about her made her the one to blow up? Yeah, I'm kind of shocked at how unathletic she looks on a WNBA court. That's how I would phrase it.
So we're fading the fever.
Yeah, every game. Let's just start fading the fever.
You're a little late to the party. If you've been backing us in the beginning, we've been taking the opposing team total over every single game and been cashing.
Yeah. What's their ATS record?
Sparks are catching 6. Are we playing them on the money line
as
well?
We love the Sparks out here in LA.
They're actually 4-3 ATS.
Oh, well, no, that's not.
So Sparks +6. Do we also take the +220 money line?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So the Sparks, these two teams played last week, and the Fever came back and won late in that game, and were able to finally get their first win of the season. But that Sparks team really, really looked like they were winning for about 3/4 of it. Now they're going to be without Larisha Clarendon, but that's going to bring Rakia Jackson, also a rookie, up into the starting lineup, and she gives them the boost offensively that they needed. That was a low-scoring game that last time around. I think that the Sparks are going to be able to score a lot more. So, yeah, +6 on the Sparks, sprinkle on the money line. This is going to ruin another home game for Caitlin Clark.
Dog.
If I was playing Caitlin Clark, I would take my most athletic player who's not like a needed scorer, and I would just play the most ferocious press coverage on her. She's not.
Oh, they guard her 94 feet. They guard her 94 feet, and it's for good reason.
Makes sense. That makes sense. I watched a half of a game, and it's like I would just be on her. Just be.
The issue with that is that how good
Like
she is as a passer.
Yeah,
she's a true point guard, like a true point guard.
Passer. She's like she's basically Larry Bird after the back injury from an athleticism standpoint.
No, you're right. Like, you don't. I maybe I didn't.
All joking aside,
no, I did. I have the same. I'm with you. Like, now that you pointed out, watching her, it's like, wow, she kind of doesn't fit in with the rest of these gals. You appreciate the athleticism because watching her at Iowa, or from the tournament, her lack of athleticism didn't stand out because. I don't know.
It's a larger field. It's a larger field, and it's a bigger talent gap. You got to think the WNBA is only the top 144 women in the world. In the world, it's only 144. Now we're gonna get that increase with the Golden State Valkyries coming next year, fellas. Or Golden State Valkyries are a team.
What is a Valkyrie? But I mean, that's the thing, right? Anyone can learn how. I don't want to minimize shooting.
It's a female warrior.
But there you go. Everyone shoots. Not everyone is an elite athlete. And I would imagine like this football basketball debate we were having with the NBA and the NFL. I'm still under the impression that the female basketball players are some of the best athletes that we have for females. And so Caitlin Clark's not one of our best athletes. That would be, again, my comment there.
But it's the same thing with Sabrina Ionescu. Same thing. And that's one of my people.
I'm not picking her to defend us against the aliens, Sean. Come on. There are a number of WNBA superstars I'd pick before Caitlin Clark.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
She's also not on Team USA. Not yet.
What do you mean?
She'll get there eventually.
How
She's not on Team USA right now.
They're not trying to sell merch. People
What?
love the
No,
scout.
we want the best
Anyway.
players. We want the best players.
Well, that's actually good point. Good point.
Hey, and I
Let's
seen
go.
the
Let's
Team
win that
USA
goal.
game.
We
Let's
better
win that goal.
Yeah, come on. We're our Team USA. We got that new
Speaking
shirt
of
coming out.
offline,
Yes.
you guys are gonna send me, right? They said that we just got to fill out the paperwork. Don't worry about it. We'll talk about it later.
Oh, you're gonna cover it. Okay. Yeah, no, we should I think we should just send a care package with the USA shirts to the team.
Yeah, we'll send it. Maybe they'll rock it. Little NIL deal.
They
Appreciate
don't know. I mean, they might not know what it means. Just say this looks cool. I like it, Degen.
Yeah, you never know. We'll see.
#Degens only.
If anyone can send us an address for them, we will definitely send them a Degens only care
Sure,
package.
it's not hard to find.
Terrell, appreciate you calling in. Make sure you
Yes.
check out the NBA Gambling Podcast and the WNBA Gambling Podcast. All right, Terrell. Good luck. Let's go Mavs
And fade Caitlin Clark.
Fade Caitlin Clark and fuck the Celtics.
Oh,
Appreciate
and by
it.
the way, 7-1 on my locks.
Oh,
7-1.
on the way out. Just mentions that.
Tout.
All right, Terrell.
At really rel double underscore. Thank you,
Nice.
Terrell. All right, switching gears here, Ryan, and we're talking to Underdog Fantasy. We got an Underdog. If you're watching live, perfect time to get in on the Best Ball Mania draft, and perfect time to be. I was talking to my brothers-in-laws who just graduated college, and I was, he shout out to Aiden. He likes fantasy football. He's a Steelers fan. And he started off with me. He's like, "Can you believe they made the Steelers win total 7.5?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know, it's crazy." Ryan, that actually moved to 8.5, but it's plus 140 on the higher. But we're here, of course, talking to Underdog Fantasy, and I was explaining to him Best Ball Mania. It's such a fun way to play fantasy. You just draft the teams. You never have to look at it again. I mean, you can. It's fun to check in on your team, see how it's doing, but you don't have to manage it. Hey, if a guy gets injured, that's why you draft all these players. They play your best team every week. I hate the waiver wire. That's why I don't play season long. The waiver wire is just a pain in the ass. You get guys like Cody, who I love Cody, but they're like, setting their alarm clock to grab.
We don't
those,
love Cody right now.
to grab
He gave
those.
us bad advice.
Yeah, Max Verstappen did not come through, but Kramer, Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGP, and get that deposit match up to $250 in bonus cash. Best Ball Mania, $15 million in prizes. Let's get it.
I mean, I feel like there's some consideration of me taking the F1 gambling podcast.
Wow.
I mean, once I dug in, I was like, this is disappointing.
All
All right,
Ryan. If you're
although I did hit Sean, first lap retirement, easy money. Shout out to me. All right,
Ricky Sherlock in the chat saying, "Don't fire Kramer up right now."
Wait, so is what I said about? Well, we'll get the draft started first, but then I'll ask for a review. It feels like you were not saying anything because you said you think what I was saying was some sort of hot take.
No, I didn't want to interrupt your clip-worthy content. I mean the
Mastiff's looking nice. $1,000 entry.
Cody saying Max Verstappen would get beat by Kyle Larson.
Which, by the way,
we're up to 300,000 views on Instagram. The DMs are hilarious.
All right, are you ready?
Multiple people have told me to kill myself.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
I mean, it is one of those things, Sean. You the only 3 people left. Are you in?
Yeah, I'm in.
2. You do have to be a little bit careful with the international racing crowd.
Oh, I knew they would get fired up. That's why I said
NASCAR.
That's why I asked Cody the question.
NASCAR is so comically beneath them.
Yes.
But I mean, if you were a NASCAR fan and you did want to fire back on the Verstappen heads, just do a little digging on his dad.
This is one of the DMs. Did the fentanyl epidemic hit your area recently? Because y'all are whacked out on something. What was this guy?
Dude, that means we're doing good content.
Please never make another episode after that Kyle Larson Max Verstappen question. And I wrote, "You're a huge Kyle Larson fan."
People don't like your
great.
jokes. I bet they probably didn't get the joke.
Oh no, guy told me to kill myself.
What do you?
People get really angry. It's pretty funny on the internet.
Yeah. I mean, I will say that's like Michael Jordan versus Tom Brady, and then introduce a little bit of racism in there, even though it's two white guys and elitism. Got to be careful with the Dutch, Sean. Again,
You always keep an eye on them.
Again, you do your own digging, and that's my favorite thing that the conspiracy theory people do. You should always do your own research. You just did a 30-minute video trying to sell your research on me, but I should do my own research now. Fuck you.
Yeah, I don't have time for research. I'm
Like,
doing
fuck
best ball
you.
mania drafts.
Yeah. I mean,
Kramer,
amongst other things.
What number do you have?
I'm trying to figure that out. Give me a second.
Are you not in this draft?
I'm in this draft.
Oh, you're 4.
I'm 4.
Christian McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill go. Kramer's on the clock.
Oh, I see bye weeks are in there nicely. In the, I mean, we've been having this conversation a bunch. Jamar Chase versus Justin Jefferson. I'm going to continue to be shocked that I can get both of these guys like kind of at the end of that first tier.
Ryan, who do the Bengals have week 17?
Who do the great
You
question.
don't have week 17, man.
Oh, no, I don't. I'll admit that. I do have my. I do have a very easy to access. And I also have it highlighted with the indoor games. If you're wondering, but the Cincinnati Bengals, Denver. I do know that the Chiefs and Steelers play each other. I have a couple matchups locked away. So yeah, Broncos, Bengals. What does that give you? Anything? That doesn't really. It's one of the outdoor. What stood out to me is how many indoor games there are in the playoffs. So teams that are inside all 3 games. Sean, you want to hear it? Falcons, Jacksonville, Raiders, Vikings, Bucks.
Ooh. Well, we did the
those teams are inside.
We did the passing most passing yard leaders. We're talking that on Visa and
Yes.
Baker Mayfield. He's kind of interesting. So
Yeah.
He does
The dome stuff is easy. It makes it a little easier to like, right?
So Ryan, you took Jamar Chase, and Bijan goes Breece Hall, AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson. I took Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't have much Amon-Ra. Jared Goff's easy to get later on.
But isn't that tier like right where you're like, yeah, I guess I'll take Amon-Ra.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
It's like Garrett Wilson's there too.
Yeah, I was I don't have a lot of Amon-Ra or Garrett Wilson. So
to me they're in their own tier and they're ahead of Puka. They're ahead of Marvin Harrison. So yeah, I mean the Marvin Harrison going this high, I feel like we've seen this movie before, right?
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I mean that's feels like mean, but he's still in the league.
Yeah,
he's still on his rookie contract.
Jonathan Taylor goes.
How do you bust out that quickly? What are you looking at here?
Ooh, Saquon Barkley would be tough to pass up right here, and I'm not going to do it. I'm going to draft him. So I got Saquon. I got Amon-Ra.
Interesting. Yeah. So how did Saquon look in camp? Was he looking bouncy? Yeah. Like I saw the squat stuff. That's always exciting. Now that you got 2 guys that squat on your team, maybe they'll teach the rest of the team how to squat. No comment.
No, I mean, team knows how to squat. We got a good offensive line. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk go. Who am I looking to stack? I got Amon-Ra. Do I go Sam Laporta? Do I go Jamison Williams? Do I get Laporta and Jamison Williams?
I think an underdog, it's a little easier to get Laporta potentially. And then I don't know if you need to do anything else after that. Yeah, you could go get JMO. I think he's pretty cheap right now. I'm on the clock. It does seem like I'm going to be in this spot a lot and just like, all right, I guess I'll be Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams to start the team. I don't know. Like what do you do differently there for you? Is there any sort of different conversation?
No, I mean, Waddle's interesting, but yeah, like
Evans?
Kyron Williams isn't really someone I'm high on.
I guess Evans is the answer, but
yeah, Mike Evans, I mean, Mike Evans, Devontae Adams, kind of similar.
I'd much rather have Devontae Adams, I think.
Yeah, you're in a dome. He's clearly the number 1.
I think he's still like a slightly better overall.
I mean, not that Mike Evans isn't a number 1, but
Mike Evans might have a better situation.
Yeah.
Also, probably more competition. I think the Raiders seems like there's more competition, but not with the way that they're going to play. They're going to run a lot of like heavy package shit where it's Devontae Adams, Myers, couple tight ends, and it's designed to go to Adams. So
Fantasy Footballer 2. His username. He's got Christian McCaffrey, Kyron Williams. We got a boomer lineup, Ryan.
nice. That's cool. He probably took a break from making furniture to come over and do a draft. See, aware it's only half point PPR. That's my other thing I like to ask the boomers. Wow.
Jalen Waddle.
Just the team continues to get worse. I haven't
You're out on Jalen Waddle.
Haven't found myself. No, I every year there's a receiver that goes in this range where they end up going off much higher. This is probably better than what it was happening last year in terms of his value. He seems a little fragile, right? I mean, I feel like Waddle performing has a little bit tied to Tyreek Hill not being the number 3 guy.
Jalen Hurts, first quarterback off the board. Nice pairing. He's got Devonta Smith and Tyreek Hill on his team. That's a good start to a lineup run.
It is. I'm on the clock. Oof.
You got Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams. Who are you adding?
I feel like I'm just gonna go with the fuck it. I'll take all the alpha guys who I still like. Yeah, I'm fine with Diggs here. The entire what's happened with Diggs and Collins has been interesting to me. Nico Collins drops a little bit. Diggs drops a lot more. I love Nico Collins. I like Diggs. You can't take both of them. I'm not taking Diggs with the idea I'm going to stack either because CJ Stroud's way too expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, I almost feel like I'm going to have to force myself one of these times just to have some CJ Stroud exposure, but I don't.
Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore. I'm not really that excited about Stephon Diggs.
No,
You're
not excited about the Houston offense.
I am,
Okay,
but I don't.
Oh, he's got to perform now. I hear you're like, if you want to throw shade at like hit the character of the man.
No, he's fallen off in the second half of a bunch of seasons. Like in fantasy playoffs, when you need someone to show up, he hasn't. So
yeah, the situation's getting a lot different, and he's going to slide into.
But it was still a pretty good situation with Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Well, what's your theory on why he fell off these past couple seasons?
I think there were certainly some questions about the offensive play calling, what the coaching staff was trying to do. I mean, it's easy to scapegoat Diggs, but coaches were fired. The coaches were making decisions. It seemed like there was this internal struggle between McDermott wanting to be a run first, like heavy package team and play some defense, and the offense wanting to be an offense. And I don't know who was there, like whose side.
So if Nico Collins is the number 1 receiver on that team, you think Stephon Diggs is cool with that? Like if he gets out targeted by Nico Collins, you think that's not?
But that's the thing. Like once you go to once you've been removed from a situation partially because of you, which he would know that more than I would. You got to be on your best behavior now to show out and earn that next contract. Yeah. So yeah, I 100% think he's gonna have to show up and fall in line. You're going to that team.
Yeah, I'm just skeptical of a guy on his third team like that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really out on Diggs.
No, I'm not.
Still think he's a pretty elite receiver.
I think he's good. I don't think I'm gonna have
all 3 of those guys. I think are very like to me. Diggs, Cooper Kupp, and DJ Moore are in a different tier of player than Metcalf, Pittman, Tank Dell, all these other receivers going. So maybe they're the end of a tier. Some older guys, DJ Moore, the youngest there, but I mean, the ceiling is still pretty fun. But yeah, I mean, are you drafting Nico in the second round where he's going at all? Or are you just out on that offense?
I might. Yeah. No, I don't know. It might be tough just because
to me, I like
those guys are all gonna. I mean, I like Nico Collins.
They're both third rounders to me.
Yeah,
and I'm not sure which one ends up being a second rounder.
I think they're gonna cut into each other's production. So
Tank Dell, Steph Diggs, and Nico Collins can't all be second, third round picks. There's just not enough points. Sean, are you on the clock? No.
Nope. I've drafted while you were chatting, Ryan. I drafted Sam Laporta and T Higgins. So I got
classic
Saquon.
Sean team here.
I got Amon-Ra St. Brown, T. Higgins, Sam Laporta.
This son of a bitch. I was just about to go and take Malik Neighbors and get to be a homer. All right, so I'll set up the future. I definitely like the guy that's going to be throwing him the ball. Trey McBride. Sean, I don't want to tease our tight end episode. This could be my number one fantasy tight end. Could be my number one.
Really?
Yeah. He was doing pretty good last year. I do think there's a the idea that Marvin Harrison shows up, assuming he signs his whatever he needs to sign to get on the field. How annoying is it going to be if he misses time because he's stubbornly not? Like at this point, it's like, all right, maybe you're not that good at football. What are you hiding?
Who's
from?
advising him? Like his dad was in the NFL before.
He's trying to get more money. He's trying to
but it's
hold
like
out for more.
The
But now you got
the rookie
jersey.
contracts are set.
Well, that's not what he's trying to get the money for. It's the other stuff. Fanatics is suing because he's holding them up from selling the contract. It does seem like he's going to have a tremendous amount of pressure to be a superstar quickly. Anyway, I think his presence helps Trey McBride, who, very much could be the alpha in that offense.
Hollywood Brown goes end of the 4th round. Interesting. He goes before Patrick Mahomes.
Did you see? Well, you know what happened. So he's no longer gettable in like the 6th, 7th round. Why? People saw him sitting courtside with Patrick Mahomes. I'm being dead fucking serious right now. The entire fantasy community caught wind of this, and we're like, "Oh well, if he's there with Patrick."
I heard some film guys saying they liked Rashee Rice. They liked Hollywood Brown as a receiver better than Rashee Rice. I'm like, I don't know, man. I mean, again, I didn't watch a ton of the Rashee Rice film, but I thought eye test, and now certainly it was, you always benefit from having Patrick Mahomes and being in that Andy Reid scheme, but I've seen a lot of Hollywood Brown. I thought Rashee Rice was pretty promising as a rookie.
All right, just going to continue the trend of old studs that I enjoy drafting.
Keenan Allen. Oh, how can you not like Keenan?
I know, right? Persona. I mean, look at this team, Sean. Look at these receivers. I know you don't like Diggs anymore, but even without that, it's still amazing.
Taking it personal.
It's still amazing. Yeah, what were we just talking about? The Hollywood Brown thing. Yeah, no, people very much are like locked in on the idea that Hollywood Brown's going to be he was a 1st round pick, Sean. He came into the league with more pedigree. He's also related to Antonio Brown, so he's got that fringe characteristic. I would also tell you, it's
5'9".
I would also ask you to take a step back and think about if we only saw Hollywood Brown playing with Patrick Mahomes, maybe it would look a little different. Because the stuff that he didn't do well with his other teams, I feel like the Chiefs scheme up, and he's a fun player this year. I certainly like. I mean, I liked him a lot more when he was drafted in 2 rounds from now. But
yeah, CJ Stroud, Anthony Richardson go. I had Anthony Richardson, of course, in my queue. Mark Andrews, Kyle Pitts.
Sorry for your loss.
I'm on the clock.
That's tough. You knew you were going to do it too.
I'm going to go Rachaad White. I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I like Rachaad White.
Not worried that the offense could shift away from a run first approach.
No, but he catches. I think he can catch a lot of passes too.
He was.
And he doesn't really have a lot of competition at the running backs.
The nerds hated how he was so inefficient. I respect this red shield here. 5 receivers right off the bat. Basically the same as my team.
Hollywood Brown's going into his 6th year.
I mean, I'm into the digital ponies right now. What you'd say here is we know what you got in this horse.
Yeah.
That being said,
3rd team, but yeah, obviously,
but you're putting that horse with fucking the greatest jockey that ever lived. Imagine Mahomes as the jockey.
But I think, certainly playing in the Chiefs system and Chiefs receiver.
Yeah. Kelsey's there.
It's going to help you.
Helps that.
I don't know if it helps you to the 4th round.
Well, which receiver that went in the 4th round do you like less than Hollywood?
Less than
Christian Kirk, maybe. To me, Christian Kirk and Hollywood Brown are probably similar. I'd rather take Hollywood, probably, honestly.
I'd take T. Higgins over him.
Would you take Keenan Allen or Terry McLaurin over him? I probably would.
Yeah, I would take Keenan Allen over him. Keenan Allen just gets a ton of catches. Lad McConkey goes.
I think Terry
6.
McLaurin could be pretty interesting this year as well. Oh, he went 6 receivers. This guy, look at this guy. He must be young. Maybe he is the child of fantasy football or two.
Just grab me some Calvin Ridley.
Oh, look at you.
Want to talk about a situation that could work out, Ryan? Calvin Ridley.
Let's talk about it.
Hashtag Degens only.
I mean, how could you not root for Calvin Ridley? Guy who loves gambling, passionate about gambling.
Yeah.
Kenneth Walker, Keon Coleman, Evan Ingram.
All right, what are we doing here?
Xavier Worthy goes.
All right. You got to do this sometimes when you draft Jamar Chase. You got to stack it sometimes. Got my first Joe Burrow team. Shout out to Darrow. He fucked me like a couple seasons ago.
Not well. You don't have T Higgins on him.
Nope. That's why he wasn't here to screw me.
Not Kyler Murray, your boy, still available.
Nope.
You're taking Joe Burrow over Kyler Murray.
I got Jamar Chase. I think sometimes you have to do the right thing and just stack your elite receiver.
Okay.
If you draft a guy in the first, I assume you have Jared Goff in your queue.
You never know, Ryan.
I think it would be silly for you to not have Jared Goff in your queue.
Everyone
can do their own thing.
It's true.
But it would be that's probably the wrong.
Everyone can do their own thing.
It's probably the wrong thing to do. But you know what? Maybe I'll do something a little different here, Sean.
Oh, spice it up.
Because I was just having a moment where typically I'm the guy who takes the 3 shittiest quarterbacks.
Yeah. Interesting strategy.
I've already taken a good quarterback.
Yeah. Weird. Why are you mixing it up, Ryan?
What if I went really weird?
Okay.
And double tapped good quarterbacks? There's 2 people that could screw me. They both have red shields, which means they have the office is bugged. But they've also taken quarterbacks. I doubt they would take another one here.
No one would take quarterback back to back, Ryan. That would create a really unique lineup and really create some opportunity for you.
Scroll the F down, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. They don't even know what kind of diabolical things I'm up to.
Richard Kurtzberger checking in on the chat. Love you, Richard.
What's up, oh, what the fuck? You're kidding me.
Oh, shout out to the guy Flox Kryptonite. Just scored Kyler Murray right in front. Oh, don't worry. Kramer still got his guy, Aaron Jones. It was all a ruse.
Not sad about getting it. The consolation prize of a better roster construction and Aaron Jones. Okay. Uncorrelated tight end, not optimal, but he's the top guy. Got him as tight end 3. Can't believe he took Kyler Murray there. That's crazy. What did you do? He has Jalen Hurts. What were the chances? He doesn't have a stack. What's this guy doing? What? And he's got a red shield. Just fuck, they give him out to anyone now.
Who do you like better, Ryan? Jalen Warren or Najee Harris?
Let me ask you this: what does Arthur Smith like more? I'm gonna guess that answer is Najee Harris or Cordero Patterson.
Yeah, the Patterson vulture touchdowns are gonna be infuriating. I'm going Zamir White.
The Justin Fields vulture touchdowns are gonna be infuriating.
Yeah, I have a feeling every Steelers draft pick is going to be bad for fantasy. They're going to be the classic good team with like horrible fantasy.
Yeah.
Or just guys that'll have good games, but you won't be able to predict it. Can you scroll down a little bit, Ryan, for our friends in the chat? Cortland Sutton goes.
He is a wide receiver 1. So is Lad McConkey potentially. So I see what this guy's doing.
You don't need to talk me into Lad.
Yeah, of course.
Najee goes. Jonathan Brooks.
I hope you got that guy queued up, Sean.
Which one?
That guy,
Jake Ferguson,
that would help.
Cowboys tight
the
end.
Cowboys guy, the guy that would help with the stack thing we were talking about.
I don't know. Stacking's overrated.
Okay.
I did a lot of stacking, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just gonna do unstacked. Blow everyone's
nothing
mind.
but naked.
Yeah,
Naked lineups only.
fuck them.
So you don't have a stack yet?
No, obviously I do. This is me throwing out ideas for potential.
You got to do your strategy. Oh wow! Look at this.
I got Jamison Williams. I got Calvin Ridley, T. Higgins, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, Zamir White, Rashad White, Saquon Barkley.
Two running backs named White.
Yep, both.
Is that planned?
Not White. No, Ryan. I go best player available.
Got it. Two Whites and a Barkley walked into a bar. All right. Ooh, conventional wisdom says maybe take a running back. You only have one. I don't know. What do you think, Sean? Probably taking a running back here. Do you have a favorite running back around this time? Najee Harris did go before. I Jalen Warren.
I like Zach Moss, massive upside. Jalen Warren's probably a safer play.
Well, talk it out. Arthur Smith does not. I mean, why did he like Tyler Algier so much? Cause fucking bowling ball. I don't know. I'm actually starting to get a little worried about, and I have Burrow and Chase, so I'll take Zach Moss. I'm starting to get a little worried about Jalen Warren.
Yeah, I can see him liking Najee, but I mean, Jalen Warren did look really good. It's clear they like him.
I think they're going to run the ball enough, so it probably works. I mean, they had Bijan, they had Tyler Algier, but I'm just saying, I would be like, if Jalen Warren comes back to me, I'll probably take him. That being said, I'm definitely taking Najee Harris before him. 100% every time, 10 times out of 10. Who's the bring back? I need a Bronco, Sean. Need a Bronco. You working on your bring back?
No.
Talking that kind of shit out?
I don't really care.
You're not really.
Bronco bring back?
No, you're bring back for your stack.
What do you mean?
Week 17 correlation.
Yeah.
You're not even. You said that you're not even trying.
Did you say the Broncos play the Lions or no?
No, the Broncos play the Bengals.
Yeah.
So you want me to tell you because you were mocking me for not memorizing it. So I'll tell you because it's the Niners.
You get flashcards.
It's the Niners. Who's your Niner, Sean? Who's your favorite Niner?
Ricky Pearsall.
Ooh. Maybe.
Oh, Juwan Jennings, man.
Oh boy, got to double check that he's going to be on the team. He might be a guy you got to check to see if he's going to be on the team.
Brock Purdy goes in the 8th round. So you're taking Brock Purdy over Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Dak Prescott, Tua, Trevor Lawrence. I don't know about that. A little early for the Brock man. Brock Hard. Remember when we were Brock Hard, Ryan? When we came to our senses. I'm not.
You're not Brock Hard anymore.
He sucks.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't suck, but it's a scam. It's a Ponzi scheme.
Okay.
I mean, you like Brock Purdy?
Not really.
No, you thought he'd win the Super Bowl though.
It wasn't my biggest investment on the game, but you're right. I was on that side. I also had a I mean, you're gonna bring it all up. I also had a wager that Kyle Juszczyk would catch the first fucking pass.
Are you gonna draft Kyle Juszczyk?
Maybe you lead with that one. All right, this is maybe it is. Yeah, let's do this. I need another run. All right. You know, I like the running back bring back. We'll go a little Javonte Williams. Have you've come in on him? You've gone back out on him. Where are you at on Javonte Williams right now?
In the same season?
What? Like this off season, you like Javonte Williams, and then you didn't like Javonte Williams.
Well, I like that he's the year after the year.
Yeah,
but I don't like that. What I don't like is the more I think about it, he's not one of Peyton's guys. Is what I don't.
Peyton said a lot of nice things about him last year, though. So
yeah, throw you off the scent.
No, that's always a possibility, but he's a first round talent. He is very interesting to me. especially when I have Bengals players.
Yeah, no, he's interesting. You're right. I've been going back and forth on him. Mike Williams, Brian Robinson. I took Romeo Dubs.
I mean, last year Samaje Perine was one of Peyton's guys, and it didn't really pan out. So we're late enough in the draft. It's interesting to. I mean, again, the upside probably there. The type of team they're going to be, they got to run the ball.
Do you have a lot of Austin Eckler around?
Austin Eckler is
It's a loaded question.
going to be very owned by me. As is, I also have. I don't know if you saw Sean Dan Jones, no brace at OTAs.
Wow! Now I'm excited.
Ownership percentages might be a little higher than initially thought.
Sorry, when's the Drew Lock jersey coming? I know that
he
when
was
he
looking.
debut in the
He was
DeVito.
looking pretty rough in the OTAs. We'll have to see how he progresses. But I'm back. I mean, I showed you before the show, but I did get my autographed Tommy DeVito jersey, so I'm back in on Tommy DeVito.
When did you order it?
This was a little while. This was intentional. It was rock bottom prices. Shout out. Not even
Does
a
he
sponsor.
open a pizza place for you?
Not even a sponsor, but shout out to Pristine Auction and their fucking emails. They get me every time. Well, of course I'm gonna bid on this fucking $27 Tommy DeVito.
Do I have to
autograph
draft
jersey.
Jared Goff right now, Ryan?
How mad are you gonna be if you don't get him? You'll be pretty pissed. It's not a huge reach either. I mean, it's a little bit of a reach, but I do think that. I mean, we've talked about him in the MVP conversation. We've talked about him in the most yards conversation.
Yeah, I don't know. I like him for fantasy though. He's always going to be interesting there.
Well, you don't like the MVP conversation? You think we've moved on from that? He got a contract, Sean.
Yeah,
He got paid.
All right. Yeah.
I mean, he's got a.
There are certain guys who can win MVP. Jared Goff's not one of them.
How many? I mean, you're probably right. It's hard to argue that point, but I also think there's only so many guys in a system where all the weapons, the offensive coordinator, everyone's been there for a couple of years. The defense is still just bad enough. I don't know.
No, the argument
This could
is,
be the year of Goff.
Yeah, the argument is, hey, look at their odds to be number one seed in the NFC. If you're number one in the NFC,
That's
you
also,
almost have like
that's
a
also a
and you're
good
the
point.
quarterback, you have like a 50-50 shot to win MVP almost. Because as we learned, it almost inevitably goes to the number one seed.
You guys are just gonna let me just fucking do into a Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers. Give me the top two targets on the Raiders. Do I stack this one? Thoughts?
Jacoby Myers with what, a quarterback?
Yeah, I have Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers. Do
Yeah,
I stack it with Gardner Minshew?
Yeah, take him in the last round.
I think. Well, I might have to take him a little earlier than that, just in case. Got snipers all over the place.
It is so mean how late Tua goes in drafts. Like if Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle go so high, how do you not also have to have Tua be decent?
Well, how many yards did Tua pass for last year? It's a good trivia question.
4,500.
46-24. What place in the National Football League did Tua finish in passing yards?
Fifth.
Number one.
Wait, what? Really?
Number one.
Yeah. It was a weird year last year. No one broke 5,000.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
People just don't like Tua. It's insane. He's a 10th.
Oh, you Tua and Trevor. What a tandem that
with
is.
Brock Purdy.
Oh,
This guy knows how to pick.
Is that the worst? This is the fantasy footballer 2 guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
No.
We
He
should
listens
have
to
him
the
on
fantasy
yeah.
footballers.
Oh yeah, maybe those guys.
I like they're fun to chat with.
their perspective is dynamic.
Kramer, you're on the clock.
Yeah, love Tajay Spears this year.
Really?
Tony
Steal my take.
What do you mean stealing your take? How
I
dare
was
you?
on
Tony,
Tajay Spears before you.
I have no idea how to prove that you're not correct, but I know you're not correct. We were both on him last year. Even he looked electric. We talked about it. Had a ton of pop. Tony Pollard went 4 rounds ago. Sean, Tony Pollard did not look electric. And I do think that you're going to see a team that is going to want to run the ball a little bit, like the Spears situation. Where are you at on Chase Brown? You still on Chase Brown?
Yeah, might not draft him here though.
Do you take Moss and Brown on the same team? I spoke him into being drafted. Apologies if you were trying to draft him.
No, I have my on Dontavian Wicks.
Nice.
Him and Romeo Dubs. Feeling pretty good about those guys.
Going after all those. Going after a little running back situation or receiver situation in Green Bay with no stack option. Interesting. Are you sure you want to do that?
Yep.
Now you can't take Bo Melton.
Why not?
Oh, I like that. Do you also just take Michael Pratt just in case he gets? Remember, wins the job over Jordan Love.
You never know.
Marshawn Lloyd, the new running back toy out of USC. He could be a nice change of pace options behind Josh Jacobs. Oh, I don't even know what I'm going to do here. What's your take on Gabe Davis?
Sure. I mean, is
he the 4th receiver on his team? Ridley, Kirk, Ingram, Etienne.
Wait, Calvin Ridley's not on the Jags anymore.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. Ingram, Kirk, Etienne, then Gabe Davis. Is that not right?
Yeah. Let me
4th option.
Yeah, I mean, he's he could. And they got Brian Thomas there. They just drafted. I don't know.
I don't have much to say about that one.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't have. I don't think they have a ton of options as pass catchers. So
is Gabe Davis going to have the same 2 games where he goes off with the Jags?
Well, I mean, Doug Peterson does have being able to scheme up stuff for Gabe Davis that they couldn't figure out in Buffalo. I think is a possibility. I think
isn't that what best ball is all about?
Yeah, I think if you like Trevor Lawrence, and you should have some shares of Trevor Lawrence, yeah, definitely get some Gabe Davis. Yeah,
do you have to have some?
I guess hypothetically, I don't know. I'm probably not gonna have a ton.
Yeah, me neither. Gabe Davis drafted. Damn. This part of the draft sucks, Sean. I don't know if you have any hot takes here. But most of these players, not
Rico Dowdle.
All right, what do we? You know what?
Freiermuth,
probably a little too late.
TJ Hawkinson.
When does Hawk come back?
Yeah, I need some clarity on his injury situation.
No timetable for return. All right, you know what? I'm gonna do what you did. I didn't get Caleb Williams, but I'll take 2 of his targets.
Cole Kmet.
Oh, we read it. We talked about this, Sean. How much the new offensive court. We were talking about with the Hour Louds guy about how much the offense is going to look to utilize the tight end. TJ Hawkinson's one of those where you're just like, oh, okay, but when he comes back, he's going to put up all these points.
Yeah, he's a guy who might win you $1 million because he dominates in the fantasy playoffs.
I feel like that never actually happens, and not for tight ends, right? You think so?
Didn't Njoku close really strong?
You mean a guy off an ACL?
You mean a guy coming off injury?
Yeah, I guess I'm talking about like a guy who falls because he's coming off a very serious injury and he's probably not going to be ready for some time. Oh, we'll see. I mean, I guess in theory you only need him for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
you missed out on Ricky Pearsall.
I did.
What are you gonna do? What's the backup plan?
I don't know. Jawan Jennings, Kyle Juszczyk. Maybe he has that elusive 2 touchdown game.
All right, let's see. Am I on the clock? Almost. Pat Freiermuth goes. Dun, 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 dun. All right, so we're gonna take Yeah, we're gonna stack. We're gonna stack Joe Burrow with the rookie. We're gonna take Jermaine Burton, and then that's it. No more stacking Joe Burrow. I'm uncorrelating the tight ends for this one. FYI.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Wild card.
Well, Trey McBride, Cole Kmet, took a couple alpha dogs right there.
Wild card alert.
Are you going 3 tight ends? Talk to me.
I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna have to.
I think
With one being Sam Laporta.
just looked at so many teams last year, and I was like, man, I wish I had another fucking tight end. I can't help but think about that over and over again.
Yeah, maybe I'll get a third tight end.
All right. 3 red shields in this draft, Sean. 3 red shields, 4 black shields. What does it feel like? You got no armor. Going against some true sharks. Oh, no way. Oh, that was me. Never mind. No, I noticed my queue. I got one player shorter, and I was about to get hot. Are you drafting any Deshaun Watson this year?
Unlikely. We'll see.
I think you might have to draft a couple pieces. You drafting any Aaron Rodgers this year?
Yeah, definitely. Why not? I mean, him and Garrett Wilson. I mean, in the lineups, I have Garrett Wilson. Why would I not?
Are you drafting Malachi Corley as well? They calling him Little Debo.
Yeah, sure. I just did draft Ryan Baker Mayfield. 3 dome games in the playoffs. Jared Goff. Do I need a third quarterback? I got Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield. Who's stopping us?
2 number 1 overall picks. Are there any other number 1 overall picks you can add to the squad?
Was Cade Otton the number 1 overall pick? Because I just added him.
I don't think so. I don't think Cade Otton was number 1 in anything.
Wow.
Yeah. Not like Caitlin Clark.
Oh man, you're gonna get some heat, Ryan.
Why?
Because you're a Caitlin Clark hater.
I think there's a lot of athletic women in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark's not one of them. I don't think that's rude. I will say though, it and I know you agree with me, but it is somewhat shocking at times how easily someone with good quickness just completely like throws a little, drops the shoulder and gives a little head fake, and she's gone. Wonder how long she'll last.
Well, she's.
I know producer Josh is getting pissed at me right now. He's a big Caitlin Clark guy. He's probably stewing on what message to write me, so I see it on the screen over here. Oh man, my whole queue got depleted just like that. All right, we'll do another non-stacked double up on a team. Give me Michael Wilson. He's going way too late. This Arizona team, Sean. They are ready to go. So are you not going to be in on Arizona with me? What's this about? You feel like you're backing down a little bit.
How so?
Oh, you're laughing at my Michael Wilson pick.
Oh, well,
or is the blackjack dealer over there giving you some good friendly banter?
No, the Michael. I don't. Your love of Arizona is comical, Ryan.
What do you mean? I had a couple nice heaters at the slot machine.
What slot machine?
The slot
With Arizona.
Oh yeah.
Come on, pay attention.
You also did with the Titans. Where's your Titans love?
You don't have to say every. I mean, what was that quote you were telling me about Treylon Burks and D Hop coming to his defense?
It was very confusing, but
this is his year. He's a first round pick, dude. He got traded for AJ Brown. Let's not forget that.
I should just get some more Khalil Herbert just for old time's sake.
You could do that.
I might. Why is no one drafting Jaleel McLaughlin? Am I the only believer?
Well, yeah,
Oh, and just like that, he goes.
it's smart. I see what you're doing. Talking guys up just to get him drafted. Very smart.
Zay Jones, Ryan. You believe in Zay Jones?
If I had Kyler, Zay Jones, great pick. Great pick, Zay Jones. All right. So what are we doing here? Yeah, I guess you know what? I'm gonna double down on the Denver bring back. I'll double bring back here with Marvin Mims.
Khalil Herbert could be moved. Does that make it more intriguing?
Probably not. But I'm with you. He's just a guy who, like, if he gets on the field, he's gonna have production.
Yeah. What about Chuba Hubbard? Why is he still around?
To draft him and we can talk about it. But he is all right. So Jonathan Brooks tore his ACL. Surgery was November 7th, I believe. I could be off by somewhere around a week there. It does seem like Chuba Hubbard is the starter. Miles Sanders was nowhere near the field. Oh, there he got drafted. Sorry, Sean. Miles Sanders nowhere near the field.
Oh no.
Last year, nowhere near the field. So yeah, I don't get that one. It's a great pick.
J.K. Dobbins. No,
I love taking the running backs that are going to be. I mean, I think Deonta Foreman could be this in Chicago or in Cleveland too, but guys who are going to be starting early in the year.
You already have Jerome Ford, so.
Yeah, Jerome Ford versus Foreman's an interesting one. Why? I mean, because
I probably would have taken Foreman this much later, but I don't mind either.
Roscoe Johnson, is that who you took him? Or that's another interesting guy.
Yeah.
They did draft him though, right? It does seem like it'd be weird if they were already out on him.
Khalil?
No.
Oh,
Roshan Johnson.
Yeah, I think Roshan still has a good shot.
DeAndre Swift just seems like he's obviously not the guy.
Keaton Mitchell.
I did see we got some injury update from him. He is progressing, but he's still off the field. Oh, Damian Pierce went. Damn, I was gonna say that's the guy. He's gonna get some carries this year. I mean, do you need a running back? Is that because you
could always use a running back. I got 5. I took Pop Douglas.
Who?
DeMario Pop Douglas.
No, you didn't. You took Zay Jones. Oh no! Fuck? Oh boy!
All right,
you're in on the Cardinals. How many rounds do we have left? All right, so I have 1 quarterback, 4 running backs. Oh boy. 8 receivers, 2 tight ends. What do I do here? All right. You got me. Will Levis, welcome to the team. I don't have a second quarterback.
That was shitty.
What do you mean?
I was going to take him as my 3rd quarterback. I have Calvin Ridley and I have Chig in my queue. So
I have Tajay Spears and I also have Chig in my queue. It seems like we're on equal footing here.
You didn't draft your boy Jonnu Smith, Ryan. Why not?
What do you mean? I don't have Tua.
No, but I thought you really liked Jonnu as a tight end. Okay.
Oh, you're the worst.
He's gonna get so many touchdowns.
Go back to your blackjack table.
He's gonna get so many touchdowns.
Oh, I definitely like him.
Oh, okay.
And he's in my queue.
All right. Over Mike Gesicki, a guy that you could use for your stack.
No, not on this team. I have if you must know, right now.
You don't want Mike Gesicki?
Right now, my tight end queue. No, I plan on pairing Will Levis with Tajay Spears and Chig. I already have the double stack for. I have Burton and Chase. I don't plan on going for tight ends.
Jaleel McMillan, or Justin Fields.
Oh no, you want if you're in on the idea of Justin Fields, you got to take Justin Fields. He's a great third quarterback.
Some fucking piece of shit took Chigoziem Okonkwo.
Yep, that's me. Will Levis stacked with Chig and Tajay Spears. Are you kidding me? You see how I did that? Very, very subtly. Just kind of slid in through the back door.
Do you really think I need a third tight end?
No.
I got Sam Laporta and K. Dot.
No. I made a personal promise to myself.
I took the rookie Tampa Bay Buck, Jalen McMillan.
Okay.
So I got 2 tight ends, 8 receivers, 5 running backs, 2 quarterbacks, maybe a third quarterback. But he would be naked, unstacked.
No, but that's the guy that you want naked. Justin Fields naked is
maybe you want him naked.
Yeah, that's fine. I want him naked. Clip that too, Audie, while you're at it. Caitlin Clark, not an athlete, not athletic, and Justin Fields naked. Okay, with Ryan Kramer. Anything else you need clarification on?
Oh, Daniel Jones goes.
Let's
we have
go.
Daniel.
Look at that stack. Look at that late round snap. After Drake May, come on, that's insulting.
Bo Nix.
That's insulting. Did Bo Nix also went? Damn.
Yeah.
I could have double stacked that one. All right, what was I looking at?
So you took Daniel Jones as a stack. You took Will Levis over Daniel Jones. Why?
For this team, because I had Tajay Spears on it already. You keep asking questions that I have answers to.
Do you have any Giants players on this team?
Not on this team, no. Because I got sniped on Malik Neighbors. Had I gotten Malik Neighbors, this would be a different story. This would be a completely different story.
And you stacked Drew Lock with him?
I told you.
Nathan Rourke?
I told you.
Is Nathan Rourke in the system?
We already had this conversation. Drew Lock's a problem. Drew Lock's a problem.
Nathan Rourke is
he
listed
in there?
on New England.
Oh. Do I need a third quarterback, Sean?
I took one. I took Justin Fields.
I have Burrow, Will Levis, Aaron Jones, Zach Moss, Javonte Williams, Tajay Spears. Kind of feel like I need a 5th running back. Jamar Chase at Devontae Adams, Steph Diggs, Keenan Allen, Jacoby Myers, Jermaine Burton, Michael Wilson, Marvin Mims Jr., Trey McBride, Cole Kmet, Chig Okonkwo. Do I go running back? I think so. Four running backs isn't enough, right?
No. Who are your running backs?
They're not probably not. Oh, I'm on the clock. Hold on. No, I'm not on the clock. This fucking guy's on the clock.
Right in the butt.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Does it ever get old?
I don't know. Let's see.
Right in the butt.
No,
Right in the butt.
Whole Canada, we love our beaver.
Right in the butt.
Dong. Smash.
What are you doing, Ryan? Come on.
I'm looking for the tab. All right. I need a Jacksonville Jaguar. They signed him in the offseason. I'll take a gamble. It's not Tank Bigsby.
Dearness Johnson.
They seem to hate Tank Bigsby. Oh, I think he's a bring back for Tennessee. So, I nailed it with that second stack. I did sacrifice Gardner Minshew. Not going Gardner Minshew. Not also going Treylon Burks. My final roster: Burrow, Will Levis, Aaron Jones, Zach Moss, Javonte Williams, Tajay Spears, Dearness Johnson. Hopefully ETN doesn't get hurt. Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, Steph Diggs, Keenan Allen, Jacoby Myers, Jermaine Burton, Michael Wilson, Marvin Mims Jr., Trey McBride, Cole Kmet, Chig Okonkwo. Sniped from Sean like a real piece of shit.
Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, Justin Fields, Saquon Barkley, Rashad White, Zamir White, Jerome Ford, Roshan Johnson, Amon-Ra St. Brown. We got T. Higgins. Then we got Calvin Ridley, Jameson Williams, Romeo Dubs, Dontavian Wicks, Zay Jones, Jalen McMillan, and then Sammy Laporta and K. Dot, and closing it out.
Nice team, Sean.
Thank you, Ryan.
Great work.
Thank you. We got a great week of shows coming up. What do we got scheduled for the folks, Ryan?
Well, we got to talk football, so we're gonna do a little offensive defensive player of the year on Tuesday tomorrow. Wednesday we got UFC 302, and assuming there's NBA, we'll do some NBA best bets and maybe no NBA for a little while though. It seems like they want us to take a break, and then Thursday we got. Do we want to tease it because we're talking about a couple new sports?
Yeah, some new.
We got
new
Premier
Sport Thursday.
We got Premier Lacrosse.
So our premier podcast,
the Premier Lacrosse League. We got week 1 picks. We'll talk some season futures. The man in the box might be here. We also got man across the pond. Malcolm maybe joining us, but definitely Boz from the Premier League Gambling Podcast. Champions League final, Sean, this weekend upcoming. So we'll make sure we get some action on that. And then of course we'll squeeze in Colby and the UFL on Friday. Could have a bonus interview.
Oh,
special interview, but definitely going to be talking about the killer whale activity over the last week or two.
All right,
speed.
Lot to get to.
Colby already produces the show. Got ahead of it. Made sure to send the clip.
Promo code SGPNMay. Get you 50% off everything in the merch store. Make sure you check out the Rhythm app wherever you get your app. Get on those NBA player props, WNBA props, Underdog Fantasy. Promo code SGPN.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green. He's Ryan.
Let's go, Sean
Kramer. Let it ride.